Here's a step-by-step guide to electrical quantity takeoffs. There's 3 steps to this process I'm going to be covering. Number 1, determining what we actually measure. Then how to measure it. And then finally, how to convert your measurements to a full bill of quantities using assemblies. The software I'm going to be doing this in is ZZ Takeoff, but the actual principles behind it are software agnostic. It doesn't matter whether you're using PlanSwift, Bluebeam, or whatever. I just personally think ZZ Takeoff is really easy to use and very intuitive. And I'll also put a link in the video description to a library of the assemblies I'm using to do this takeoff. And the term assembly is going to make a little bit more sense in a second. So as I said, there's going to be 3 steps we go through in this process of doing a takeoff. So number 1 is going to be determining what we actually are going to measure on the drawings. These are the items that we can see, that we can easily count. For example, in this drawing, there is a number of light fittings to measure. We'll be measuring those, or we've got linear meters of cable tray. The second step is going to be the very confusing and complex process of either counting items or measuring lengths. And then the final step in the process is how we take the measurements we've made and then use these to create a full bill of quantities. Because there are some items on the drawings that are not easily measurable. So we use assemblies to derive the quantities or the full bill of materials for those from the primary quantities that we measure. So number 1 is determining what we actually measure. And the rule behind this is basically you measure anything that is visible on the drawings and that isn't already provided in other information. So for example, on the drawings, we can see that there is cable tray shown. So we can measure the linear meters of cable tray. We can count the number of power points and light fittings. But if these were provided in another schedule that the client provided, then we would rely on that bit of information. So we're only really measuring what is easily accessible on the drawings and what isn't already provided. So for electrical, this would typically be your cable containment, your conduits and trunking, the cables if the client isn't already providing a cable schedule, but most of the time they will provide a cable schedule. We've got the lighting quantities, the switchboards and distribution boards, power outlets and accessory, any fire detectors and alarms, any data and communications, and any earthing and lighting protection. Now, there are quantities, and this is where I'm getting into this idea of an assembly. There are some quantities that would be derived from, so I would refer to these as your primary quantities. There are some quantities and bill of material items that you can derive from these. For example, if according to the drawings, every 2 meters we need to have a support for our cable ladder, then we wouldn't actually count the number of supports, or it probably wouldn't be shown on the drawings, but that would fall under our cable ladder assembly. So if I show you an example of an assembly for cable tray, every linear meter of cable tray, so what we're going to measure is the linear meters of cable tray. We have 1 splice plate every 3 meters in length because we're buying the cable tray in 3 meter lengths. We have 1 support bracket or hanger every 2 meters. So we have 0.5 support brackets per meter we measure. We need 0.25 linear meters of threaded rod per linear meter that we measure. So as you can see here, if I go to my drawings and I measure the quantity of cable tray, then that is my primary quantity. And then using an assembly, we derive all of these secondary quantities from. Now, it depends what you're doing your takeoff for. You might only be interested in procurement, so you only want to derive a bill of materials from this, but you may actually want to be doing this for an estimate, so you might also apply productivity rates to these items to calculate your total hours. So for example, if you measure a linear meter of cable tray, that might take an electrician 0.4 hours to install. So from our primary quantity, the length of cable tray, we're deriving our secondary quantity, which is the man hours to install that. Whether you're using this just for your bill of materials or your quantities, again, it depends what the takeoff is for, but this is the idea of an assembly. So we can have assemblies for underground conduits where we're deriving the amount of trenching we need to do, the amount of warning tape, the amount of bedding sand we need, all based on that original trench profile. So if I use the example of a light fitting, the primary quantity that we're going to count on the drawings is the number of these individual light fittings, but from this primary quantity, we can derive that we need 1 suspension chain and hook set. Again, this is for a hanging light. We need a mounting bracket. We need a junction box, 1 per light fitting. We need 2 meters of cable on average per light fitting. We need cable fixing, all these items. So again, the only quantity we're measuring is this. These are going to be pre-built assemblies we set up in our takeoff software that automatically calculate based on the primary quantity we measure. Now, the other really important point to bring up here is because if I'm using this for the purpose of procurement, this isn't as relevant, but if I'm using this for the purpose of estimating and I want to calculate the labor cost per item I install, then the different productivity rates and different plant requirements for different tasks becomes very relevant. So for example, some light fittings you might be able to install from a ladder. Others you might need an EWP or boom lift to do it. So when you're doing a takeoff, you would need to break down which ones are easily accessible from a ladder and which ones you need a boom lift for. If you're doing this for procurement and for the purpose of buying the light fittings, that doesn't actually matter. But if you're doing it for construction and installation, you have to think about what are all the different productivity rates, what are all the different access requirements, plant requirements that we'd need for these different tasks. So to make this really simple, I'm going to do two examples, one of measuring light fittings, the other one for measuring linear meters of cable tray. And again, it's the actual measuring act is the easiest. The bit you really have to think about is how you set up your individual assemblies. So for example, here I have a set of light fittings and I'm going to set up a takeoff item, which is my B2 light fitting. So I'm going to do that. I'll create my first assembly. And obviously if it's light fittings, we're going to be counting them. So first I'm going to call this assembly B2 light fittings. And again, I just want to stress that this is using ZZ Takeoff, but whatever takeoff software you use, the principles are all exactly the same. You have a primary quantity you measure, you have a secondary quantity that you derive things from. So then I'm going to add material, labor, and plant items below this. So number one is going to be the actual light fitting itself. So open that up, light fitting, and the ratio is going to be 1:1. So the units are going to be each, and the formula is just going to be point count. The count of my light fittings is going to be the number of items that I count. The next one I'm going to add is, let's call this the support bracket. And again, this is going to be a 1:1 ratio. So the formula is just point count. Again, the same units. But let's say with support brackets, we want to add 5% wastage because as a consumable item, we may use some up. So then the next one I'll say is material. Let's call this the sub-circuit cabling, or we'll call it 2.5 mil squared electrical cable. We want 10% wastage on cable. We want, that's going to be units, not meters squared. It's going to be linear meters, and it's going to be that times 5 because we want 5 meters of cable per light fittings. We save that. I'm actually going to go back and put costs into each of these. You can use this or you can export it to Excel. It really depends what you want to do. Let's say the support bracket's $25. The light fitting is, say, $365. Again, you can put cost in here or you cannot, or you can just export to Excel. It's whatever you find easiest. Let's say, so we've got the cable, the support. Let's say to then install that, it's going to be 2 man hours per assembly to do that. So electrician units is man hours. So we've set that up. That is now assembly for B2 light fittings. We copy that across to our takeoffs. And then if I go and start counting, these, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is very complicated and very difficult stuff. It's definitely one of the toughest things you will do. I think that's all the B2 light fittings. The rest of these are all B1s. Oh no, there's a few here. And there we go. There is our quantity of 16. And you can see from our primary quantity, for the count of 16, we've got 16 light fittings. Again, makes sense. We've got 16.8 brackets because we've allowed for 5% wastage on the brackets. We've got 88 meters of cable because we've got 5 meters of cable per fitting with 10% wastage, and we've got 32 man hours. So then you can see from this primary quantity, we've automatically derived our secondary quantity. And over time, you can build your own library of all your different takeoff items. So I'll put this spreadsheet as a link in the video description. But again, this is just an example. You might want to change your productivity rates. You might want to change different things. But in all these takeoff softwares, you'll be able to have a complete library of these items. So I want to create another takeoff item, but this one's going to be a linear measure, cable tray, and we're going to have the actual material, which is going to be our cable tray, which we want 10% wastage on. So round up to, this is an example of where you could use rounding up when you do it. I don't like to do that because it depends on the quantity of the job. I think you allow for a little bit of extra fat if you do it like this, but you could round up. Say you buy cable tray in 3 or 6 meter lengths, you could round up to the nearest 3. So your total quantity is going to be, it's always going to come up to the nearest 3 meters, which factors in the length of cable tray. But if you buy them in 6 meter lengths, you'd round up to the nearest 6. But let's just say 3. We've got a cost per unit is meters or linear meters, if you want to do it like that. And our cost is going to be, let's say, $35 per linear meter. Then we'll add, I didn't name that, cable tray. I'll put in electrician, and let's just say that is times 0.4. So our productivity rate is 0.4 per linear meters. We want to allow for a little bit of wastage on the installation. It's going to be, that's our labor to install it. And then we want, call that a material, cable tray brackets. That is going to be linear. We've got a bracket every 2 meters. So if you imagine that, if we want to turn that into a number of brackets, we've got 6 meter cable tray, we need 3 brackets. That's why I'm multiplying by 0.5. Let's just say they're $30 each. And then let's also add the cable tray splice plates. Material, linear meters times 0.3, because we've got one every 3 meters, so 0.33, round up to the nearest 1 each. Let's just say these are $10. And there we go. There we've got our cable tray assembly. We copy this into here. We select it. Actually, I didn't scale the drawing, did I? It's auto scaled to 1 in 100. I'll just double check that that is correct. Yep, the scale is correct at 1 in 100. And let's measure the linear meters of cable tray. Just select that. Oh, no. I clicked too far. Delete that. Oop. Accidentally deleted the takeoff item. I'll copy that back. I'll select. So you see it, we've measured 24 meters there, which gives us 27 meters of cable tray with the wastage, 10.26 man hours, 12.2 cable brackets, and 9 splice plates. So I'll measure a bit more. Again, any electrical stuff, unless someone can give me like a good, I'm happy if someone tells me that I've like missed something obvious, but it's either counting or measuring stuff. It's actually very, very easy to do. Ah, no, I clicked too far. Delete that measurement. And again, like if you're measuring, like if I was doing this drawing and I'm measuring something that's blue, I would change the color of that so it's easier to see. So you might want to change it to red. Oh, actually, no, there's a lot of red in this. So maybe green. So then it's much easier to see what you've measured. But I mean, these are just little tricks. You're obviously going to learn this by actually playing around and doing one. And there we go. So that's 94 meters. And then that spits out our secondary items. And then we can go to the reports tab and we can see a summary of all our bill of quantities by item, or we could see it by, we could see it grouped by takeoff item, or we can group it by the actual items. So for example, the software's gone and actually combined electrician. So we measured some counting electricians, and then some of the electricians were from linear measurement. So it's combining, if we name the resources all the same way and give them the same units, we can then group it by the item we're counting. And then if you want to, you can just export this to Excel and then build your estimate on that. I mean, it's super simple. If you want the library of some standard assemblies and ways to do it, again, you should customize this to how you do things, your productivity rates. But you can use something like this to set up for your primary quantities your own template library of assemblies. Now, this is just me talking about how to measure stuff, but if you want to actually know how to compile electrical estimates properly, then watch this video next.